Hi, everyone. This is a brief lecture on the French army under Napoleon, also known as La Grande Armée. Three main units based on experience, and that's key. A variety of different regiments contained within, including cavalry, infantry, artillery, both light artillery that can be moved at a moment's notice, and heavy artillery that you would plant on the battlefield. Also included some other groups that were conquered, including the Mamelukes from his Egyptian campaign in North Africa and Lancers from Poland. The tactics, this is a big key here, strength in organized flexibility. Napoleon would set the battle plan, but he would trust in the experience of his under generals or under secretaries to make adjustments as needed. If an opportunity presented itself, he believed that it was up to the experience of those generals to determine whether to take it or not, as long as it fit in with the master plan overall. Speed was extremely important. This army is incredibly well trained. It's incredibly quick, so it can move at a moment's notice. It can move the light artillery into position at a moment's notice. Use the artillery to soften, then infantry, then the best of their infantry to clean it up. Rifles, cannons, swords all being used as well. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805. You should definitely check that out. Going back to this concept of speed, being able to move people into position and around different positions. Napoleon was incredibly well versed in the history of army tactics and infantry tactics. And he used that to his advantage, knowing in essence what he thought the enemy would do and then being able to use that against him. He wasn't above presenting a false front to the enemy in an effort to lure them into a specific area that he could then use to defeat them. The rifles that are going to be used during this time period are not super accurate. So it was this is early 1800s. We're just barely starting to see rifling within the barrels being used. It's really not into the Crimean War, about 40 years after, that we see that actually being used, 40 or 50 years later. He combines a lot of the old tactics that he learns from King Gustavus Adolphus from the 30 Years' War in the 1600s. All the way up until present, new ideas that he's able to use. These are actual images up here. This is an actual cannon from Napoleon's army. Just briefly going back here, because the cavalry represented 1/6 of the army overall, that's really what gives them that ability to have incredible speed to maneuver into various opportunities. That's all we really have on Napoleon. Just wanted to give you a brief look at it. And if you have any questions, please let me know.